Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Melody and I love all things having to do with makeup, especially eyeshadows. Those have a special place in my heart. Today I actually got my order from Singe Beauty. I'm so excited because we're going to play with the Galactic Visitor palette. This did recently launch, and when you open it up, it does consist of 16 different shades. It has some very beautiful mattes as well as shimmers in here. So you're going to be getting 10 mattes and 6 shimmers. There is also a holographic shimmer in here, which is going to be this one called Milky Way. Some of these do have like a duochrome shift to them as well, so I can already anticipate they're probably look beautiful in the eye. And along with the palette, I also, in my order, got the blushes. So I was kind of waiting to get these, and I'm happy that I did wait so I could get them all together as a bundle with the shadow and some brushes as well. So we're going to go over the 4 shades of blushes that we have. I did also get a face brush, so we're going to be using this one for the blushes. And these are the pencils that I got for the eyeshadow. So I'm really excited to be able to use all of them. And this is definitely going to be a first impressions on Singe Beauty. So as always, I'm going to go ahead, prep my face and my eyes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so my face has been prepped. I decided that we should start with the blushes first. I'll try on all 4 blushes, and the last one I'll try on will be the one I'll keep for the final eye look that I'm going to do. So the first one that I'm going to try is called Persistent Persimmon. And this is that yellow, kind of orangey, it's the color of a persimmon, so this is that color. I'm going to use the brush that I ordered as well from Singe. And I did touch it when I was filming the up-close unpackaging, and it's so soft. Honestly, the most accurate description that comes to mind is if you have touched a baby's head and felt their hair, this is how soft this is. I've always been looking for a good blush brush, and I've, tried a couple. There's one that I'm using right now that's like not life-changing, but it's better than some of the other ones I've tried. So this one's very unique. I don't have any blush brushes that are like this. It is quite small. I'll show you my normal one. So this is the one that I'm currently using. This is just from the Sephora Collection. It's their blush brush. And this is the Singe Beauty blush in comparison. So it is a lot bigger in all aspects. And it's nowhere near as soft as the Singe Beauty one. Like, I wish my hair felt this soft. But yeah, it's supposed to be really great for applying really pigmented blushes, which is something that if it's very like densely compacted, it's going to kind of apply it very concentrated in one area, and it's going to be a little bit more work to blend it out. So this one, it promises to make pigmented blush application a lot easier. So we're going to test that out today. And as I said, I was going to start with Persistent Persimmon. I don't have any blushes. Well, that's not true. I do have blushes this color that come in like a palette. So for example, the Blend Bunny palette does have those more yellow tone blushes. I've never actually used them before. They do intimidate me. So I'm excited to see what this is going to look like. All right, so I'm just going to coat the brush. There's not a lot of fallout. I'm going to tap it off as I would with everything else. And I don't have any bronzer on. That's also something I don't like to see when I watch other people's reviews, is that they'll prep their face and they'll put on bronzer. And I feel like that it kind of skews the perception of the actual color of the blush they're applying, because they put it over top of the bronzer and it just changes the color. So I decided to just do like foundation. So I have powdered my face, but I'm just wearing foundation and concealer. And we're going to go in with a yellow color. Okay, I see you, brush. Yes. Okay. So definitely does what it says it does. I think because the bristles are so soft, it does have a lot of bristles, but because they are so soft, it's very good at dispersing the color and making it look kind of blown out instead of just applying very concentrated on one spot. So I'm just applying a little bit more, and I'm starting on the back of the cheek, and then I'm going to build it up towards the front. This is definitely not a color that I would normally go to. But this formulation is very, very beautiful. I don't know if it's the color and how it layers on top of my skin, but it looks like it has a glow to it. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is the side with, this is the side without. And I am wearing the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm always going to be wearing this, even the day I die. If you come to my funeral, this is the color, not the color, this is the foundation I'm going to be wearing. But I am noticing a little bit of a, kind of like a sheen. I think you can see it on camera there. Let me inspect this up close. Interesting. I think it's just how the light is bouncing off my skin, because I'm not, like, I'm trying to look at it up close and I'm not seeing any like micro fine sheen to it at all. So it is matte. I do believe it's matte. It says it's a silk blush. Interesting. I don't know if they refer to silk as in the formulation because it is very silky, or if it's to the finish, because if you want glow but you don't want to wear any highlighter, this is definitely going to do it for you. And I don't normally like my blushes with glow. That's so interesting. Yeah, it's definitely, I think the color has like a bit of a sheen to it. It's not quite a highlight by any means. It just has like the most subtle sheen. That's very pretty. All right, so this is Persistent Persimmon. Again, this is with, and this is without. All right, you know, I was gonna do one and one, but I think I'm just gonna do both cheeks with the same blush. So I'm gonna go and apply it on the other side. And again, if you are applying a blush that you've never used before, I recommend you start towards the back and then you can spread it towards the front. In case it is too pigmented, it even gives it a bit more depth and like sophistication if it's darker in the back and lighter towards the front. So that's a really good trick as well to kind of like combine your blushes. If you want to layer them, you want to give your look a little bit more sophistication, you can do like a darker shade towards the back and a brighter one towards the front. This is definitely a shade that I would reach for in the future if it complemented the look. So I'm happy to have this now in my collection. I didn't have anything, well, again, I have something like this, but not like this at the same time. All right, so again, this is the shade Persistent Persimmon on both cheeks. And like I mentioned, it does have a subtle glow to it. It's not a highlight by any means. It's just like a, you know, the way silk has a bit of a sheen to it? That's what this has. Very pretty. It looks healthy. It looks like a healthy glow. All right, we're gonna try another one now. All right, I have reapplied foundation on the cheeks. I wiped off everything and I have used a color switch for my blush brush, so there's no more color on there. And now I'm gonna go in with the shade Riveting Rhubarb. So this is the pink one. And I say the pink one because it's the brightest pink one. It kind of shows on the label there. This one has a bit of, it's like a coral pink, I would say. So it should be very flattering. Again, I'm just going to go in with the brush. I'm going to put the most in the back and work it towards the front. This is such a pretty blush as well. And again, I'm seeing that sheen come through. And if I know Angela, which I don't know her personally, but just watching her videos, I do believe she likes her blushes to be a little bit glowy. I don't think she's the biggest fan of like a matte blush. And I can see that that completely carried through in this formulation. You know what? This is making me think of the Rare Beauty, those like blush highlighter combos. I don't have it with me, but it comes in packaging that looks kind of like their normal highlighters. And it's, I'll pop in a picture here, but it promised to be this combination of like if a highlighter and a blush had a baby. And I think it was supposed to look like this. At least in the campaign pictures, it looked like this. And then if you actually go to swatch them, or if you guys have tried them out, or if you've bought any, I have one of them. I can't remember the name of the one that I have, but it's the one that looked the least highlightery, but it still looks like a highlight, so I can't use it as blush. It just goes as a highlight. But my hopes were that that Rare Beauty product was going to be like this. And I'm blown away. I'm shocked because this is everything that I hoped that other product was. And I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, I must not have paid attention when Angela launched these, but wow, finally. If you have tried those other ones from Rare, you'll notice that they're more of a highlighter, really. I don't know why they're marketed as blush. I like a cheek that glows, but not one that looks like you just put highlighter on it. So needless to say that that product did not work for me. But this is exactly what I was hoping that blush highlight thing would be. If you are someone who hates any type of glow for their blushes, this might change your mind. And the only reason I said that is because it has like the most subtle glow, and it's not like sparkles, it's not like a highlighter. It's literally like when you've skin prepped and you've moisturized and your skin is looking like a glowy little dumpling. Like, this is what this blush is doing. It looks so beautiful. I don't know if you can see that, but oh my goodness, I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is again the shade Riveting Rhubarb. I think this is gonna be my new everyday blush. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, I have to stop looking at myself on the camera now. I'm gonna try on another shade, but again, this is Riveting Rhubarb. And don't let this fool you, because my skin is actually really dry. I have eczema as well as psoriasis, and I do have a little patches of a flare up on my face right now. But this is making it look like hydration is my middle name, and I'm loving it. Okay, I'm gonna take this off and come back for the other one. Okay, the second blush is gone. It almost broke my heart because I really wanted to keep it on. It's so beautiful. Okay, but I'm gonna go in with the third one, which is called Risky Raisin. And I kind of had a brain fart when I was taking off the other blush. I think I was calling the brand creator of Singe Beauty Angela, and I think it's Angelica, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think I'll just call you Angie from now on because I don't want to mess it up. But if you're watching this, wow, like standing ovation to you because you've done an amazing job with these blushes. But anyways, I'm going to go into Risky Raisin now. I have cleaned off the brush. And this one intimidates me a little bit because it does look darker, but I bet it's still going to look beautiful on the skin. Okay, I'm going to start at the back again. Ooh, okay, so I love this color, obviously, but also I can see, or I can notice more with this blush than with the other ones. The Singe Beauty Blush Brush, the abilities that it has to blend it out, because I'll do something just to show you guys a difference. So I will finish applying this side with this brush, and I will use my normal brush on the other cheek, which is honestly like nothing special. It's like any other blush brush that you would find from another brand. Yes, and the glow is there as well for this color. I love it. Okay, so this blush is giving me like a bronzer and a blush vibe. Those bronzers. If I was wearing bronzer, I think it would make more sense in the rest of my face. Because just looking at it like this, it looks a little bit funny. But it's still a very beautiful color. I'm actually going to bring this up to the temples a little bit. But just look at, okay, even though it's a relatively darker shade, it blended out so effortlessly with this brush. I'm in love with this. Like, okay. I'm going to apply on the other side with my normal brush, which is this one. And mind you, I've tried different shapes of brushes for the face. So the angled one is the one that I like the most. I also have the what is it, the 04 for the cheeks, which is pretty good, but honestly, I'd say the Singe Beauty Blush brush is better. And I've also tried kind of more of a, not a dome shape, but like a pointy dome, if that makes sense. This is just a brush from Tarte. So it does have the angle all around, and it has a little bit of a point. So again, sometimes I rotate between these two. The Revlon one's pretty good too. Let me compare the softness. I would say that the Singe Beauty brush is just as soft as the Revlon 04. I do believe that these are synthetic, so it is a cruelty-free brand, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is cruelty-free. Whereas I don't know that Revlon is. I think it does use real hairs, but I really like this one. Something I don't like about the Revlon ones is because it is natural hair. It tends to break as you wash it sometimes, so you have to be very gentle with it, and it's a little bit delicate. This one I feel like is going to last you way longer, and the price point is probably better than the Revlon one. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me on it, but hands down, this is going to be my new go-to blush brush. Anyways, we took a long way around. I'm going to apply the same color on the other side of the cheek with my normal blush brush. I did use my Sigma color switch as well to make sure that any pigment has been taken out. So we're all clean, and this is going to be the moment of truth to see if it's the formulation or if it's the brush. It's the combination of both. Already I can tell you that this is going to put a lot more in one spot because it is quite larger. Okay, that's blending out very nicely as well, even with this brush. But I will say this, because the Singe blush brush is smaller, it gives you better control over where you're applying the blush. So with this one, you'll see like that's, like it's already going to be placing it all over in one area, whereas with the Singe one, you have more control over where you want to concentrate the blush. And something I have noticed with the blush brushes that I have, which is why sometimes I'll tap into my Revlon 04, is that when it comes to the front of the cheek, because most blush brushes are quite large, it puts it in more area than what I want it to be placed in. So I end up with a lot of blush. I know I went a little bit, I got excited here, but you could have concentrated just in one place. Whereas with the typical blush brushes that you can buy, because they are quite large compared to that one at least, you end up with more blush in areas that you might not have originally wanted to have. All right, so this is the side with my normal blush brush, and this is the side with the Singe Beauty blush brush. On camera, I think it looks a little bit scary, but in person it does look not as punched on the cheek. And again, if I was wearing like full face of makeup with bronzer, I think this would make more sense. This definitely gives me like a sunburnt vibe, which can be cute if you make it work. But I'm going to go ahead and take this off and put the last blush, which is going to be the one I'm going to use for the eye look. All right, I have taken off the third blush and we're going to go in with the fourth one now. This one's called Timid Tomato. This one looks like a bit of a lighter version compared to the Risky Raisin. I'll put them both up side by side here. But it looks like it's just a slightly brighter, not brighter, lighter, more blush than bronzer, but it's still giving that blush bronzer combination vibe. But we're going to go ahead and put this on the cheeks. And again, I'm just wearing foundation and powder. And this one does seem like it would still be pretty neutral friendly. I'm going to try to pop back in at the end of the day as well to give you guys like a wear update for how the blush wore throughout the day. I'm liking this one a lot as well. Okay. Again, that glow is definitely there, but I really appreciate this glow. Something that I have noticed from other typical blushes that claim to give a glowy cheek is that it just looks like it's a combination of a highlighter or like some shimmer specks within the blush. I think that's the case for a lot of the NARS blushes too. I think Laura Mercier also has some that are like that, which I like the color, but I don't like that it has like a big sparkle particle in it. So I haven't been able to, or I haven't bought it because I'm not a big fan of how that looks like on me. But again, this formulation is absolutely beautiful. Very easy to build up and it basically blends itself out, if I'm being honest. All right, so this was the last shade, Timid Tomato. And it's more of a, closer to a true red, I would say. But red is a good color blush as well. It doesn't always have to be pink. All right, so we're gonna move on to eyes now. All right, my lids are prepped. I look a little bit funny. I did apply some loose powder underneath in case we have some fallout. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the E.l.f. So the whole palette is very beautiful, but I kind of want to stick to this corner for today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the shade Peas, which is on the top left-hand corner. It does look a little bit dirty because I did the swatches already. But I'm just going to tap into it. And I'm going to place that on the outer corner here towards the crease. And these brushes are really soft as well. I'm going to tap and blend out the edges. It is blending very, very nicely. And again, the brushes are really, really soft, but it's super pigmented as well, which is a great thing. So I'm switching to the E.l.f. and I'm grabbing some of that peachy color. It's called Hoodoos. And I'm going to focus that on the top part of where we blended out that burgundy color. Ugh, I honestly I feel like that was a bit redundant. But as soon as Angie made that video about how she was coming out with a palette, I got super excited because I feel that nobody knows how to combine colors the way that she does. Like, she just does such a beautiful job of creating so much depth in her looks, and she knows how to use color. Like, wow. They always look amazing. And she comes up with the most beautiful, colorful looks. I think for a while I was kind of stuck being like a neutral brown shadow type of girl, but Angie's videos, I'm telling you, they made me kind of step up my game a bit, I'd say. All right, now I'm going to go in with the E.l.f. and I'm going to tap back into that Peace color. I just want to build up a little bit more on the outer corner here. I did cover a little bit of it away with that peachy coral color. And I just want to build it back up. Okay, so far these colors are definitely performing really well. And the brushes are really good too, I like them. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with my placement because normally I do my eyes before the rest of my face. So I'm able to clean it up with concealer if I go a little bit outside of where I wanted to. but I'm not going to have that option today. So I'm just going to try to be very careful of my placement. Now I'm going to take the shade Cowgirl, and I'm just going to focus it on that outer corner. I'm not going to blend it out as much because that's what that burgundy shade is for. I'm just deepening the outer corner here, and I'm going to test in a second to see how the dark colors layer. Because there are some formulations that the dark colors are better just to apply, pat them down, and then blend out the edges, which I think is something that Angie does like to do a lot as well. But where I was going with that is that some formulations don't really allow you to build up like dark color on top of dark color, because that's when it'll start to kind of pick up and create patchiness. I feel like it's so relaxing to do your eye makeup. I swear it has to be some sort of therapy. Okay, I love the range of depth that this is giving already. I'm gonna take the, what number is this? The E01. I'm gonna take some of that Hoodoo's color and I'm gonna put it on the inner tear duct and bring it in towards the center. But I'm gonna leave the center free for another color that I'm gonna put there. And I'm gonna bring this up a little bit towards the crease on the inner corner. Alright, and now I'm gonna go ahead and take, same brush, I'm gonna take that shade Peace. And this brush is gonna be really great for packing on color as well. I'm gonna put that more towards the center and pull it towards the front. So what I'm actually gonna do is, I did set up quite the foundation here to give depth, but I'm gonna use the blue shade as well. I'm a sucker for a blue that has a shift to like a burgundy color. Not that this blue does have that shift, but I feel like we can mimic that look by putting that beige, or not beige, sorry, burgundy foundation underneath the blue. And these colors, these mattes, are building really very beautiful. Very beautifully. Yes. I'm getting a stroke just using this palette. Okay, as promised, I'm going to test the black. I'm going to go in with the smallest, most pointed, I guess you could call this a pencil brush. This is the E02. I'm going to tap into that black, and I'm going to pat it on the inner, not the inner, the outer corner here, just to give it even a little bit more depth. And I am also testing out to see if the dark colors will build on the lighter ones. Which, if it can't, that's not a fault or a weakness of the palette. I'd say that's just going to determine the method that you apply, or the method that you use to apply the shadows. I think it works great. Okay, now I'm going to take the blue. So I'm just going to use my finger for this. And I'm going to apply it to the center towards the outer corner. So kind of coming in contact with the black that we laid down. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm kind of going over that black and bringing it in towards the center. And we're going to use a different shade on the inner, so from the center towards the inner corner. That looks so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go into the shade Encounter. And I'm going to grab it with my pinky because I'm going to go on the inner corner of the lid. And I'm just going to pat that in and connect it to the blue that we did in the center. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. This is definitely giving me alien vibes in the best way possible. If you know me, you know that UFOs freak me out. I mean, who don't they freak out? But this is giving me Galactic, like in the best way possible. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that shade Encounter. And I'm going to drag that up in the center a little bit towards the brow bone. The reason I didn't use the dark blue color for that was that I didn't want to make this area look darker. So I'm doing that with this light shade. And because my lids are hooded, I always have to exaggerate everything upwards so that when my eyes are relaxed, you can kind of see what I'm doing, because if you look at there, all my hard work is gone. But when I do this, you can see that I actually know how to blend shadows. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, it's the E01, the brush E01, and I'm gonna go into the shade called In, and I'm gonna apply some to the inner corner here. I love how pigmented this is. I'll be excited to see if Angie comes out with another palette that has like a white shade to it. I'm not sure how she feels about white. But the pigmentation on this, I'm loving. I'm going to go in with the shade We. And I'm going to put that on the lower inner corner here. Oh, this is such a pretty pastel yellow. Ooh, you would be able to make some beautiful looks with this one as well. Right, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little silicone applicator and I'm going to go into the shade Beam. I'm going to put that as my inner corner highlight. Right there. I'm going to drag this up just a tiny bit upwards. Okay, now on the lower lash line, I'm going to use a brush that doesn't have any color to it. And I'm just going to brush away any of the loose powder that I have from the baking, just to give it space for what I'm going to apply in the lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to do yellow for the lower lash line. So I'm going to go back in with the E05 and I'm going to tap into this yellow. I'm going to go on the lower lash line here. Okay, I don't know if this is the right call to make. Is it doing anything? I think it is. Well, we're going to put it on both sides. You know what, in hindsight, I probably should have chosen a different color, but that's okay. I got a little bit excited. I don't even know how many times I'll say, oh yeah, I have to get ready if I'm going to go out with my husband and I'm going to do just a quick eye look, and then I come out with a whole look. A whole look. I'm not doing myself any favors. It's like I want to test all the colors. Okay, I know I just went in with Soul, but instead I'm actually going to go in with Saucer. This is escalating. This is snowballing quickly. No, I think what I need to do is I need to calm down for a second because I'm getting too excited. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shade Saucer, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line towards the inner corner. So this should complement that kind of lime green that we put in the inner corner with the highlight. And you know what? I'm going to do like a mint color in the waterline as well. Give me one sec. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back with Hoodoos and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. And I'm going to put some of that blue on the lower lash line as well, the sparkly shimmery color. Alright, so I'm going to take my silicone applicator and I'm going to go into that kind of minty sparkle color. I'm going to put it just over top of that mint that we applied earlier. And then in the center, I'm going to do Encounter. And I'm going to connect it to that other color that we did. And on the outer corner of the lower lash line, I'm going to take Believe. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave it there for the eyes. I'm going to wipe away the baking, apply liner, lashes, do my brows as well as lips, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I got excited at some point and I started to get a little bit carried away. I swear I wanted to put every single color in my eyes, but it's just such a beautiful palette, and the sparkles, oh my goodness. The sparkles, they're so beautiful. They're so micro fine, and it's just when they catch the light, chef's kiss, seriously. Overall, I think this palette is very versatile. It has a great range of options, and I feel like I accidentally made purple because I put the blue shimmer over top of the burgundy red. But that was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. And I'm really excited to see what other looks come out when I play with this palette itself. As for the brushes, really great quality. Even something as simple as the paint on the brushes themselves, it feels like it's very high quality, very like thick, very glossy. And I say this because I have ordered some like face brushes on Amazon before, and you can kind of tell when the quality isn't fully there of the materials, but this one, really good quality for sure. And the brushes themselves, very soft. They were great for blending and packing on color as well, so if you're thinking about getting these brushes, you won't regret it. And for the blushes themselves and the blush brush, top-notch quality. The blushes basically blend themselves. I guess just keep in mind what type of shades you want to use, or what type of shades you would purchase that you're going to use the most often. I think the best bang for your buck ends up being if you get the bundle, but totally up to you. Look at all the different colors. I'll make sure to have some swatches up throughout the video as well. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave any comments below, hit the bell for notifications, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That way you can keep up with other videos or tutorials that I might have coming out. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. And one final thought on the blush is that they are absolutely gorgeous. Really good color variety as well. So I think you're going to find something in here, whether you know your deep skin tone, medium skin tone, or light. Definitely the yellow one is the different one, because it's not often that you see a blush in a collection that's yellow. So I think that's really cool. And my favorite color definitely was Riveting Rhubarb. They are all very beautiful, but this one on the cheeks with that glow, oh my goodness, it just looks healthy and dewy and just amazing. I mean, I didn't put on any highlighter and it looks like I have a bit of dewiness in a good way. This is, by the way, it's been how many? Oh, it's been 7 hours. So this is after 7 hours of wear. I did my makeup at 3 and it's 10:30. So this is after 7 hours of wear. I might look a little bit different. If I look a little bit dewy, it's because it's been that many hours. But overall, it blends like a dream. It's, oh, please come out with more colors, please. That's my only request. It's my only criticism. Come out in more colors of a blush. The eyeshadow palette. Oh, everything. I keep talking on and on about this. But I just wanted to add that I cannot wait to see like all the different completely matte looks that people do. I know basically each row could be a look if you wanted to do it that way, or you could look at it as like groups of 4. There's so many different possibilities with this palette. It's absolutely beautiful. Angie, you did an amazing job with this. All those months hard work that you put in definitely paid off. So with that, I am going to see you guys next time, and I just wanted to do that check-in before I went to bed and wash this all off. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.